Open Thought TV with your boy Lee Ingham. We're about to go in a free flow interview. Let's go. So Lee, explain your journey to me.
My journey is a long journey with Konk Apparel. This is actually my second brand. I had a brand before called 649 Threads, and that brand itself, T-shirt brand, was a brand that had more local sayings, little funny stuff that us as locals would understand, and also my actual first design was a James McCartney design.
Wow.
James McCartney T-shirt. So that actually started the process. It was a good venture. I think with that one I learned a lot, the pros and cons, what to do with a T-shirt business, what not to do. I invested a lot of money trying to get the formula right. And that is actually what I learned from that is what I'm putting into Konk Apparel right now.
And one thing I noticed about your brand is the fact that it's so locally based. You have the Konk Shirt, you have the word Konk, probably revolutionized. You know what I mean? What inspires you? Is it the fact that you're from the islands, or what's your main inspiration for doing all these local brands, Turks Islanders, and all these things inside your designs? What inspires you?
Well, honestly, the main objective is not just to have a T-shirt or apparel brand. The main objective for me is to represent the Turks and Caicos Islands. I mean, the whole journey for me with T-shirts began. I went to college in Jamaica, and me, like almost everybody, I came back. I had like about 10, 15 different Bob Marley shirts, and I just realized that when I came home from school, I watched every nationality rocking, showing respect to their brand. And I was like, how come we don't have anything that really represents us?
Exactly.
And that's the whole idea of the James McCartney brand T-shirt came out first, because I think that was something that was needed and something that we could wear that was kind of cool but fashionable, that we could look and say, hey, this is a nice little shirt, I can rock this.
Definitely.
And with the Konk brand, I want to do something that not just appeal to locals, but also anyone who visits our shores. And I think in Turks and Caicos, one of the most iconic symbols that we all can relate to is a Konk Shirt.
And I've been in these islands all my life, and I've never seen a clothing brand take the streets like your brand. What separates Konk from every other brand in these islands? Because I would say right now, you guys are probably the most popular clothing brand that we've ever seen touch the shores of these islands. What makes you so appealing to everybody so locally?
It starts from the beginning process with designs. I mean, to be honest with you, every design I do, I look at it and I'm like, would I wear that?
Yeah.
So if I won't wear it, I won't actually put it out there. And I think when it comes to competition, I don't look at it as being a competition with any other brands in the country, because anybody who is currently doing T-shirts, I applaud them, because I look at it as a lot of young Turks and Caicos Islanders who are in the process now trying to be entrepreneurs, who are trying to make a change, who are trying to make a big name. And for me, I try to help anyone who I can, who I know is doing T-shirts, because at the end of the day, if I don't make it, I want them to make it and help basically pull me up ahead along with them. But what I do to get my brand out there more is you have to be very creative when it comes to marketing. Social media for me is my biggest thing. I'm on social media every day, all night. I always look for different creative ways to market myself. And when I look at the brands that inspire me, I follow the brands that inspire me. I follow the Hurleys, the Billabongs, the Rip Curl. It's not just following them to see what they're doing, but also looking at their products and see what they're offering, looking at the quality, looking at the new stuff they're coming out with. It's trying to, I think sometimes we need to look farther than our shores.
Exactly.
So for us to be on that level with those international brands, we have to basically make sure that our quality is on par with those international brands.
Great.
And hopefully one day Konk will be an international brand.
So you aim for Konk to be amongst the best clothing brands in the world, is what
Yeah,
you're telling me.
definitely.
That's the dream.
Definitely. When I first started, I was thinking probably far as Provo. Then I started thinking regionally. I'm in the mindset right now. I'm thinking for the long term, internationally. I want to be able to go as far as somewhere in Europe and see a Konk store, the Konk Shirt, and the thing about it is that being from Turks and Caicos, when you see that, it makes you feel proud to say that's from Turks and Caicos. I know that guy right there, and I know when he first started. So the whole thing is not just, it is representing Turks and Caicos, it is trying to help out follow entrepreneurs, but it's also about making the brand as big as possible.
As possible. And
definitely.
Earlier you talk about it first being 649 threads, now it's Konk. What has been the hardest part about forming this brand? What has been the roadblocks? What has been the most challenging thing about your journey to being one of the best designers we've seen, clothing designers we've seen in these islands?
I think for me the biggest hurdle has always, and I think this goes for anyone, is finances. And with a brand, my daughter gave me a joke. She said, "Dad, everybody says that you're rich." I say, I can claim it. But I think what we need to realize is that when we have a business, whether it be a clothing business, whether it be anything, you have to reinvest in your business. I'm not gonna lie, I make a profit from Konk Apparel. If I make $100, I reinvest $95. And for the last 2.5 years, I've just been reinvesting. I put into new products. I tried some stuff, some were successful, some weren't. But it's all about reinvesting over and over again. I know for sure that it would maybe take me on a 5-year mark to actually make that big profit. But I'm not in it for the long term, for the short term. I'm in it for the long term run. So I'm looking at the long term goal that, hey, 5 years from now, you probably go down in Grace Bay and boom, there's a Konk Apparel store. You may go to cruise ship port, Konk Apparel store. You may go in the airport departure lounge, Konk Apparel store. And I think that's the main thing.
And how do you want people to feel when they wear your clothing line? How do you want them to react when they're buying a shirt? What's your main goal to inspire the customer?
My main goal is just to look at it and say, this is some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of my designs, people may not look at it that hard, but if you look into my designs, there is some symbolism of Turks and Caicos inside of it. Not like this one, because this one just says Turks and Caicos Islander.
Yeah.
This is right in your face.
Yeah.
But some designs you have to really look into. You might see an area code, you may see some different colors for the island, but there's always some inner hidden meaning within all the designs, not just the Konk. Even if you look at the hat, the O is actually Konk Shirt, but the little space in between is actually the islands, the map of the islands in the actual design.
I've never even
Exactly. So a lot of people don't even notice that, but it's those very, very small details that make things really big and give it more meaning.
And if you have someone that's in your shoes, let's say they're at the stage where you were at 649 threads, what would you say to this Lee that you probably didn't say to yourself when you was at that stage?
The main thing, take your time.
Yeah.
If you're in it for the money, it's not going to work.
Exactly.
You honestly, you have to have a love for what you're doing, because a lot of times you're going to be spending money and you may not make money. I mean, I've been in it, like, say, 2.5 years now, and there are times when I wake up in the morning and wonder if it even makes any sense.
Yeah.
But sometimes I may get a picture from someone and it just makes it all worthwhile.
Wow.
And I think when I first started, I was more so behind the scenes doing stuff and just out there, and a lot of people never knew who I was as a person. They thought probably I was, probably someone from overseas doing it. They never knew that, hey, this is your own little guy here from Grand Turk over back doing this thing. And I think we have to learn how to come from behind the scenes sometimes and put a face to a brand and be pleasant. I mean, if you have a business, people, they come to business because they like what you do, but they also come to business because of who you are as a person.
Exactly.
So you have to be personable, you have to be able to greet people, you have to be able to speak to them about your brand and not be afraid to express yourself. I mean, if you have a passion for it, it comes so easy.
Exactly.
You have to fight for words or make up things as you go along. You just need to be able to step outside of the shadows and come and say, hey, my name is Lee, Konk Apparel is my brand, I'm proud to have it, and this is what I want to do with it, and this is the future I see for Konk Apparel.
All right, Lee, so earlier you mentioned investors. Are you looking for investors locally, internationally? Are you trying to put yourself out there to say that, hey, invest in Lee right now? This is the next hot brand for the world.
I won't say I'm looking for investors. I know maybe people may be looking at the brand and wanting to invest, but for me personally, I want to be able to try it on my own.
Exactly.
And I want to be able to, if I do eventually say go into the way of looking for investors, I want to be able to come to the table with something that is of value. And I want to come and say, hey, this is Konk Apparel. I have this huge following. I can do this. And I want to come with something viable. Exactly. Not just come with a piece of paper and say, okay, well, this. I know I want to come and you look at it and say, no, this is worth this amount of money, and we can look at it. We can probably take this to the next level. But right now, I in my mind, I have a plan of where I'm taking the brand, and so far, I'm on track.
Great. And 10 years from now, where do you see Konk?
As I said before, Race Bay, cruise ship port, the airport, and you never know, 1 or 2 international locations.
Awesome.
I mean, the brand, it has potential. I was telling one of my friends, for me is a weird situation because I have friends who tell me how they see the brand growing, but for me, it feels like I just started yesterday. I don't really see certain things probably because I'm in it every day.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm just doing the same thing. I'm in constant battle with myself to come up with something new, a constant battle with myself to create new things. So it's kind of something hard for me to actually step outside of myself to look and say, that's actually going kind of good.
And I think the thing with people like you, because I've talked to a lot of people who are successful, it's the fact that you work so much, you don't take the time out to appreciate where you've come from.
You agree?
You know, and I mean, I enjoy talking to you guys because it's so inspirational. Lee, I need you to just give me some inspirational words for the young people right now, because we have a lot of young people who are trying to be the next Lee. If you don't believe it, they're out there. You're gonna see them, and I'm sure you've seen them already. With
Definitely.
other clothing lines. I need you to give them some encouraging words because you know the journey is not easy.
No, I think for me the main thing is do what you love. If you can make money or start a business with something that you love doing, go for it. Because the times when you're not making any money and you're looking like you're not making any sales, is that love for the business that actually keeps you going. Like I said, many times I wake up and I look around and like, I probably want to give this up.
Yeah.
But I have that inner love for what I'm doing because I know I want to. It's like having a baby.
Yeah.
I want to see that, watch the baby grow, and I want to see the baby go to college, and I want to see that baby start working for me and making money.
Exactly.
So it's the main thing, and you have to be humble. I think that is so very important. You have to remember where you started and why you started, and the ones who helped you on your way. You can start a business and make like a first 1,000, and all of a sudden you're, creme de la creme. You have to really stay grounded in what you're doing. I think, and because people, they look at you and they say, man, Lee was a cool guy, and all of a sudden he's so arrogant. I can't even talk to him anymore. I always want to be in a situation where people can approach me, we can have a conversation, we can laugh. And it's like with the brand, for example, if I have someone who buys a hat from me or a t-shirt, and you call me, hey Lee, guess what, man, your shirt a tore, or I'll replace it. Just give it back to me, and I'll give me a week, 2 weeks, and I'll have a brand new one. And sometimes it's those small things that mean a lot. If I see you take a cool picture rocking a hat or shirt, 9 times out of 10 you might get a DM from me, hey, you want another shirt? I just want a picture in return. And you have to keep the interaction going. Make sure that your friends, not just your fans and your people who purchase items, you them know that you appreciate it.
Exactly.
I mean, I try to do that as much as I can. If I at an event selling or anybody who does anything for me, I make sure I go on my social media next day and say, guys, thank you for having me there. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting local business, local small business. I mean, entrepreneurs and Turks and Caicos Islands, because at the end of the day, we all have to help each other.
Exactly.
There's one lead, but there are many leads out there who are doing it, and there are so much people who me as a small business owner who I admire, who I know, who are doing the thing, who I look at and be like, wow, how are they doing it? I think we need to just meet up and just sometimes need to congratulate each other. Like, hey man, you're doing an awesome job.
Yeah.
I love your stuff. I mean, whatever advice you can get, sometimes you just never know the advice or the networking that you can do with just doing those things.
Awesome. Well, Lee, I'd like to thank you for being a part of this wonderful interview. This is probably the first time we've ever had a real conversation.
Definitely.
And it was live. Got it. So, thank you. Konk is going to be on the scene soon, guys. International. When I jump off a plane in London, I will see Konk at the airport.
Definitely. International.
International is what we're aiming for.
Definitely.
Thank you, world. Thank you, Turks and Caicos. Open Thought TV. We are out.
Number one.
Peace. Thanks, bro.
Good stuff.